This is your business brief at this hour. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. The government has imposed a partial lockdown on 13 counties within the Lake Basin region in a bid to contain the surging numbers of COVID-19 cases. The Ministry of Health met the decision after declaring the region a COVID-19 hotspot zone. Consequently, a 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. curfew has been imposed in the counties of Kisumu, Busia, Vihiga, Kisii, Nyamira, Kakamega, Kericho, Bomet, Bungoma, Trans Nzoia, Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay and Migori in the last 14 days. Infections in those counties constituted 60% of the national case load, with an average positivity rate of 21% against the national average of 9%. Additional measures include restriction of movement for non-essential workers between the hotspot zone, suspension of weekly non-food and livestock markets for 30 days, suspension of all public gatherings and in-person meetings as funerals and interment ceremonies are to be conducted within 72 hours of confirmation of death. Night vigils and overnight proceedings are prohibited, while funeral and weddings attendees are not to exceed 50 and 30 persons respectively. Religious services are also suspended for 30 days, as hospitals visitors will only be limited to one visitor per patient at a time. Meanwhile, 660 people have tested positive for the disease, forming a positivity rate of 10.7%. Now, Kenya's case load now rises to 177,282. Let's stick to COVID-19 and cross over to Kampala, where the surging number of COVID-19 cases and infections in the neighboring Uganda has rattled the government, with the President Yoweri Museveni set to address the nation tonight. Now, Museveni's address coming less than 2 weeks after he made another address in which he imposed a partial lockdown to contain the spread of the virus. According to the latest official figures, Uganda has recorded 1,584 new cases of coronavirus, with a positivity rate of 14.6%. The new cases rising the country's case load to 67,215. Uganda has been registering more than 1,000 cases for several days now. Another headache for President Museveni is the rising number of COVID-19 related deaths. Latest data shows that Uganda has registered 34 more deaths. That means in the last 3 days alone, Uganda has reported 108 coronavirus fatalities, raising the death toll to 542. 950 patients are fighting for their lives in various health facilities across the country, with over 48,000 others having recovered from the disease. Uganda has so far conducted over 1.2 million COVID-19 tests and administered more than 800,000 doses. Now, apart from Uganda, the situation is dire on the continent. And the World Health Organization is concerned that COVID-19 cases in Africa are surging by 20% on a weekly basis, as most countries on the continent enter a third wave. On Thursday, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Africa surpassed 5.1 million, with over 136,000 deaths and more than 4.6 million recoveries, according to the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. WHO Regional Director for Africa, Matshidiso Moeti, now says that the continent is already reeling from the third wave of the coronavirus infections that would overwhelm the already fragile public health systems. Now, she said that the Democratic Republic of Congo, Namibia and Uganda have reported the highest number of new weekly cases since the pandemic was reported on the continent. According to Moeti, the easing of the COVID-19 measures, combined with the cold weather in the southern African region and new variants, is behind the new surges.
So far, the Delta variant has been reported in 14 African countries, and the Beta and Alpha variants have been reported in more than 25 countries each.
Back home, the Capital Markets Authority now says Saitona Investments is not licensed and is not approved. In a statement yesterday afternoon, the authority said it was responding to inquiries regarding the licensing status of the Saitona Investment Group. Now, this follows complaints from investors on investors, yes, with a section of social media users claiming that they were duped by the Saitona Investment Fund. CMS says it has opened a criminal investigations into the operations of the Saitona and asked affected investors to report any fraud cases with the Capital Markets Fraud Investigations Unit, while cautioning Kenyans against investing through unlicensed and unapproved entities. However, the authority has confirmed that the Saitona Asset Management Limited is licensed. Public servants are staring at tougher days after the Salaries and Remuneration Commission said it has frozen salary reviews, citing hard economic times occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. Commission Chair Lane Menke says that there will be no salary increments for public servants and state officers for the next 2 years to allow the economy to stabilize. SRC further announced that no additional funding will be availed for implementation of job evaluation results in the next 2 financial years. The Commission says the decision was arrived at following recommendations by the National Treasury. The Commission says it will review the situation after 2 financial years and give direction for the remaining period of the 3rd remuneration and a benefits review cycle. The Nairobi Metropolitan Services is today conducting a full-day test run at the Green Park bus terminus here in Nairobi. The test, which is the 3rd to be conducted in a space of 1 month, is geared toward assessing the park's readiness for commissioning. Now, today's test run started early this morning at 5 a.m. and run all the way to 9 p.m. While it involves dropping and picking off passengers for public service vehicles using Langata Road, Ngong Road, and Arwings Kodhek Road to Kikuyu, Ngong Kawangware, Dagoretti, Kibera, High-Rise, Ngomo, Wangai, Kiserian, yes, Langata, Otiende, Madaraka, and Nairobi West. Now, the bus park is intended to be the new terminal for PSVs that have been operating around Nairobi Central Railway Station. President Uhuru Kenyatta has said Kenya is adequately prepared to welcome back the World Rally Championship Safari Rally, which kicks off in a week's time. At the same time, the president has urged Kenyan motorsport enthusiasts who will be attending the 4-day Safari Rally to behave well, saying it had taken the country years of negotiations and preparations to bring back the WRC event after an 18-year absence. Now, the head of state spoke Thursday at a State House Nairobi, where he presented brand new rally cars to 3 young Kenyan drivers who are being sponsored for WRC Safari Rally by Safaricom and Kenya Airways. The president wished the young drivers success in the Safari Rally, urging the Kenyan corporate sponsors of the 2021 WRC Safari Rally to continue supporting the event in future to ensure Kenya retains it long term.
And I think this is something that is not only going to be met with a lot of excitement by our fellow Kenyans, but also, I think, throughout our region and the African continent. I really look forward to holding this event in the midst of a crisis, of an epidemic, but I'm certain, even after we visited with Amina to see the trials not so long ago, very happy to see that COVID protocols were being maintained all across, and I'm sure that that will continue.
The return of the WRC Safari Rally reignites a core part of Kenya's heritage and a critical constitution of the unified communal lifestyle of our people, anchored on support, on celebration, and on family. Today, Your Excellency, I'm proud to present to you the future of the Safari Rally in Kenya, in Africa, and hopefully on the globe.
Finally, Zambia's founding president and liberation hero Kenneth Kaunda has died, aged 97, at a military hospital in Lusaka, where he was being treated for pneumonia. Kaunda ruled Zambia from 1964, when the Southern African nation won its independence from Britain, until 1991, and afterwards became one of Africa's most committed activists against HIV and AIDS. Now, the former president had been unwell and had been admitted to a hospital in the capital, Lusaka, earlier this week. Kaunda will be remembered more for his role as an anti-colonial fighter who stood up to white minority-ruled South Africa. Now, the government of Zambia has announced 21 days of national mourning in honor of their founding president. That is your business brief at this hour. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage.